Hey, what's going on guys? Giant Boss here, and today we are going to rank every single Raidraptor card that exists on a tier list. There are 55 cards in total. We're going to rank them S through F. So let's begin. I have all of the cards pulled up on my phone, so I can look them up if I don't remember the decks exactly. First off, Raidraptor Revolution Falcon Air Raid. He is like a C tier card to me. You can XZ summon him by discarding a rank up, which is pretty good. You can destroy a card, a monster, and inflict damage. And if he dies, you can bring out the OG Revolution Falcon, which is nice. But you won't use him very much though. So I think C is fine for him. Arsenal Falcon, he is either like top of A tier or bottom of S tier. I think I want to put him bottom of S tier because he's like mandatory. You need to have him. Even other decks other than Raidraptor use him. He can attack multiple times, summon a level 4 winged beast, and he floats. Only bad thing about him is when he floats, he doesn't XZ summon the monster, so you cannot reborn them and you cannot trigger their effects on XZ summon. For example, Air Raid's effect to pop a monster is when he's XZ summoned. If you summon him with Arsenal Falcon, you can't do that. Next up, Avenge Vulture. He says when you take damage, you can special summon him. He's D tier, nothing special about him. Raidraptor Barrage, the new trap, I think it's A tier. It's like a hot thread, it can negate any face-up card, which is pretty good. It can protect your rank up in the draw and standby phase. Also, it has an effect that you can banish it from the graveyard to add a Raidraptor monster from your graveyard or banish into your hand. So that's good. You can recycle your Tribute Lanius or Strangle or something on turn 3. Raidraptor didn't have follow-up before, so if your board got broken, you basically lose. Now we can play on turn 3 and up. You can also use this card, like other decks, like Phantom Knights can use this. So I think A tier is pretty good for it. Blade Burner Falcon says, if your opponent has at least 3000 life points more than you, it gains 3000 attack. Then, if it destroys a monster by battle, you can detach any number of materials to destroy that many monsters. I don't think this is really good, because you already have to be like losing. So it's like turn 4 at the least, which is not good. It's also like 2 level 4s, which why would you make this instead of Force Strix or Raider's Knight? Just not worth it in my opinion. Next up is Blaze Falcon. He's cool, he can attack directly, and if he inflicts battle damage, he can destroy a monster opponent controls, and then you can detach one XZ material to destroy all special summoned monsters your opponent controls and inflict 500 for each, which is pretty decent, but just not worth it anymore because you have a better target for Raider's Knight, which is Brave Strix. Yeah, he's cool. So C tier. C for cool. Bloom Vulture. This is the new card. I honestly love it. It has 2 effects. You can special summon it and one more Raidraptor from your hand, or special summon it and one more Raidraptor from your graveyard. The only bad thing about it is that you can only use 1 effect per turn, but even so, I think it still deserves S tier. You can now play without committing your normal summon, which is pretty important. So you can extend through Nibiru and stuff, or through hand traps. You can use it, like send it for droplets and then special summon him back. So that's pretty decent always. I think S tier is fine for him. I would put him like over Arsenal probably. Next, Booster Strix. He says when your opponent declares an attack on a Raidraptor, you can destroy the attacking monster. by banishing him from the hand. So this can help you so your opponent can't run over your towers like Ultimate Falcon and stuff, but just not important that much. You don't really care if your towers survive, so I think D tier. Brave Strix, the new rank 5 from Phantom Nightmare, has 3 effects. It can add a rank up magic if it has a Winged Beast as material. It can set a Raidraptor spell trap, and if it's a material, it boosts the Xyz monster it's under. So let's say Arsenal becomes 32, Rising Rebellion becomes 53, so they become pretty big. This card is honestly great. We needed another rank up searcher that's not Lystrix, and this is as good as it will get. The only bad thing about it is that you can only use one effect per turn, but it's still fine. I wanna put it in S, just not sure if like middle of S or top of S. Put it in middle for right now, but it's very good. Next up, Raider's Knight. He's pretty decent. You can detach one material to rank up or rank down into a Raidraptor, Xyz Dragon, or Phantom Knight monster. And then during your opponent's end phase, that monster is destroyed. Which usually doesn't matter because your main 2 targets are Brave Strix and Arc Rebellion. Arc Rebellion cannot be destroyed by card effects, and Brave Strix you're going to rank it up into Arsenal immediately, so that doesn't matter. It's not really generic, it's 2 dark monsters, so you cannot use like generic extenders like Sakitama to make it, which sucks. Also, it's not a winged beast, which means you cannot link it off for Vistrix, and you cannot use Painlanius to make it. If you could do that, it would be S tier, but I think it's A tier for now. Raider's Unbreakable Mind says when you Xyz summon a Dark Xyz monster, you can pop a card, and then if it is face up and got destroyed, you can set a rank up. The popping of cards, you already have that with Rusty Bardish, and if you could set a rank up if it was destroyed face down, I think then it would be pretty decent. But because it has to be face up, I think it's D tier. Raidraptor Call. You can summon a Raidraptor from your deck with the same name as the Raidraptor you control in defense, but then you're locked into Raidraptors, so that sucks. You also have to like summon a multiple, like let's say you have like 1 Mimicry and Call and 3 random cards, like you cannot summon a second Mimicry if you only play 1, so like this card is not even seeing play in pure Raidraptor, so I don't think it's worth it. It's D tier probably. Maybe even worse than, I'm not sure if it's worse than Unbreakable Mind, but I'll put it in D tier. Saroid Cannon Falcon is pretty decent. When he's Xyz summoned, you can destroy all spell traps your opponent controls, and they cannot respond to it. And you can detach a material to lower your opponent's monster's attack by 800 for every Raidraptor in your graveyard. I think it's not once per turn, so it's pretty good. Just not really worth it in other builds. You can run 1 copy in pure, but in other builds it's not worth it. I think B tier is pretty fine for it. Raidraptor's Phantom Knight's Claw. Detach 1 material from your Xyz monster to negate a monster effect, and then if it was a Raidraptor, you can have your Raidraptor gain attack. It's pretty decent, but like your towers monsters like Ultimate Falcon and Rising Rebellion cannot gain attack because they are unaffected. It's a counter trap, which is pretty good, but I think Barrage is just better, so it's either like, I think it's like middle of B tier, probably. Like, you could run 1 copy, but you don't have to. Next up, Doom Double Fours. It says if your Raidraptor is destroyed, you can rank up into one that's twice its rank. So let's say your Forstrix gets destroyed, you can summon a Satellite Cannon Falcon. This is not good, really. Yeah, after Fiend Eagle is rank 3, which you will never hard summon, but you can summon it with Raider's Knight and Arsenal Falcon. I used it to make Killswarm Orpheon, which was pretty decent because like high level monsters were in the meta, like Kashtira branded. So I think like if we got another meta like that where Orpheon is good, it could see play. But for now, like you will never like hard summon it. So I think it's like the like top of D tier. Like it could like you can see play again, but it's meta dependent. Next up, Forstrix. This is probably the most well-known Raidraptor card. Soft once per turn, you can detach a material to search Darkling Beast. That's level 4. So you can even use it, like it was even used in like other decks like Tri Brigade, Luna White, Black Wings. It also gains like 500 attack and defense for every other winged beast you control, but that doesn't really come up. I still think it's like S tier because you have to play this card. It's pretty good, like not really much that can improve on it. It's like just a really strong card. So I think S tier is fine for it. Next up, Final Fortress Falcon. This card is like upgraded version of Ultimate Falcon, but it's probably worse than it, which is kind of funny. Yeah, if it has a Raidraptor Xyz monster as a material, it's unaffected. Once per turn, you can detach one material, return all your banished Raidraptor monsters to your graveyard. So you can like recycle your Heal Eagle and Mimicry. And up to twice per turn, when it destroys a monster by battle, you can banish one Raidraptor Xyz monster from your graveyard. It can attack again, so it can attack 3 times per turn, which is pretty decent because it's like 3800, so you can OTK with him. So I think I want to put him in like around like towards the top of B tier, but he doesn't really even see play that much, so maybe like middle of B, we'll see later. Fuzzylanius. You can special summon him if you have a Raidraptor, and when he goes to the graveyard, you can add another Fuzzylanius. And then if you use either effect, you're locked into Raidraptor, which is the main issue behind it. Like, if you didn't have that restriction, it would be S tier, but because it locks you into Raidraptor, I think it's top of V tier, probably. Maybe a little bit towards the middle. Like in pure, you run it in pure, but other builds cannot use it. So in other builds, it's like B tier, so I'm gonna put it in like B tier overall. Heal Eagle, you can special summon it if you control only your Raidraptors, which could have been better because sometimes you will have like Simorg on field or something like that, and you cannot special summon it. Also, you can banish it to add a Raidraptor spell and trap from your graveyard to your hand, which is pretty good. So you can use like your rank up multiple times, or like Barrage or Claw. Only bad thing about it is it's level 3, so you cannot like make Raider's Knight or Forstrix with it. You can only link it off into Bystrix and that's it. So I think like top of tier somewhere. Lastrix, it's the one where when there is a battle involving Raidraptor, you can special summon it and then gain life points, which doesn't come up ever, but you contribute it to special summon Raidraptor Xyz from your extra deck with negated effects, which means you can then like use, let's say you tribute it and summon satellite cannon, you can skip force into ultimate. But the problem is it's no longer 2016, so that doesn't come up. So I think like D tier is where I'd put it. Raidraptor's ultimate mace says equip it to a Raidraptor monster, it gains 1000 attack, and when the monster is targeted for an attack, you can add a rank up and you take no battle damage. So you will never use this, it's F tier. Mimicry during this turn it's sent to the graveyard, you can banish it to either a Raidraptor card, and during the turn it's normal or special summon, you can increase all your Raidraptor's monsters level by 1, which is pretty good. So you can like make hard make Brave Strix. The only bad thing about it is that you can only use the add effect the turn it's sent to the graveyard, so if you get drawed and you didn't use it, well, that's it. You cannot use it the next turn. So I think I'm gonna put it top of B tier. If you could use it any turn, it would be A tier, but now it's B. Napalm and Dragonius, this card is pretty bad, but there is one use for it, which is you can side deck one copy, so you can use it in time to burn your opponent, so I'll put it in D. Necrovulture, this card says you contribute one Raidraptor to add a rank up from your graveyard to your hand, but then you're locked into Xyz summoning with a rank up, so it doesn't really come up. It's only there for like flashy combo videos, so it's either like bottom of C or like towards the top of D. Honestly, I'm fine with whichever. Like bottom of C or top of D, wherever you want to put it, I'm fine with it. I'll put it in like towards the top of D for now. Raidraptor Nest, this card is pretty decent. When you have 2 or more Raidraptors, you can add a Raidraptor from your deck or graveyard to your hand. It's a free bounce for Zephyros. Only bad thing is that Zephyros is no longer used that much, so no real reason to use Nest. Also, like, unless you're setting it with Brave Strix, I don't really see the reason to search it. Like, let's say you search it with Mimicry, you can just search the Raidraptor you're planning to search with Nest instead, so no reason for Nest. I'll put it like here for now, but yeah, no real reason to play it, but it's pretty decent, like I can understand. Noir Lanius, he can add a Raidraptor that's a different level from the one on the field. Also, you can banish it from your graveyard to increase or decrease your Raidraptor monsters level by 1, which could come up to like hard make Brave Strix. Again, only bad thing about him is that he adds a different level, so like the main targets are Pain Lanius and Heal Ego. If he could add like Strangle Lanius, he would be S tier, because he would be one card combo, but because he cannot, I'll put him in B tier. Pain Lanius, you target a Raidraptor you control, take damage equal to the stat, whichever is lower. So, for example, if you targeted a Noir, you would take 500. Then you special summon it, and its level becomes the target monster level, so it would become level 4. Again, like that effect is pretty good. If it was just that, I would put it A tier, and probably you would play 3 copies, but it says cannot be used as Xyz material except for Xyz summon of a winged beast monster, which means you cannot use it to make Raider's Knight, so I'll put it top of C tier. Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Launch, this is technically a Phantom Knights card, but it mentions Raidraptor in the text, so I decided to include it. I think this is like this is either like the best or the second best rank up we have right now. You can target a Dark Xyz monster you control. It doesn't have to be a Raidraptor, just a Dark Xyz. And then banish dark monsters from your graveyard. And then rank up the monster on the field by the number of how many monsters you banished into a Raidraptor Xyz, Dragon, or Phantom Knight monster. So you can go into multiple cards, you can go into Arsenal, you can go into Arc Rebellion, you can go into Ultimate Falcon, into Rising Rebellion, into Satellite Cannon, into Dark Requiem. Only bad thing about it is that it locks you into Xyz summoning. If you didn't have that, it would be probably top of 8 tier, but now I think it's either like here or like a low 8 tier. I'll put it low 8 tier for now, but might change it later. Rank up Magic Raid Force. This is the one that ranks up by 1. Let's see. Target 1 face up Xyz monster you control. Special summon 1 extra deck Raidraptor monster that is 1 rank higher. And you can banish it from your graveyard and 1 Raidraptor card from your hand and add a rank up from your grave to your hand. So it's either like top of D tier or bottom of C tier. You don't really use it. It's just too slow right now because there is not any monsters you want to rank up by 1. Like if you see like because you go from a 5 into a 7 and then you go from a 7 into a 10, like you don't go by 1 anywhere. You could go technically like 4 Strix into Brave Strix, but you need to draw it, which sucks. You don't want to draw it. And if you add it like with Brave Strix, you don't go into Arsenal. You can go into like Air Raid, you can go into Revolution, but that's it. So I think I'll put it like here. I think this is fine for it. Doesn't really see play. It sees play in OCG because they run grass, so they like when they mill it, they can banish it from graveyard to add a rank up back. But I don't think that playstyle is viable. Just way too bricky. Rising Rebellion Falcon to new rank 13. It's unaffected. When it's Xyz summoned, it can destroy all cards your opponent controls. That's pretty good. It can burn. That's pretty good. It needs to detach 3 monsters to copy an effect, and then it needs to detach 1 more to activate that effect, so you need to have like at least 4 materials on it to fully utilize it. He's technically a better version than Ultimate Falcon, but I still think Ultimate Falcon is a little better because its effect to lock your opponent. I guess he's the new Waking the Dragon target. Unaffected, like 4000, it's pretty big. It goes to 53 if it has Brave Strix under it. So they would need to crash their access card to out it. Yeah, it's either like bottom of A tier or like top of B tier. I'll put it top of B tier for now, but might change it later. Raptor's Force. This is the first rank up used in the anime. When your Raidraptor is destroyed, you can rank it up by 1. Yeah, this is not good. It's an anime card, like the first rank up, so that's cool I guess, but that's it. Raptor's Gust. This card is a counterspell that negates a spell trap if you control a Raidraptor. So that would put it like, that's like Claw, but for spell traps, which would put it in like B tier at least. But it's called Raptor's Gust, not Raidraptor's Gust, which means it's not searchable. So you would have to draw it. So I think I'll want to put it like bottom of D tier. Raidraptor Readiness. It says your Raidraptor monsters cannot be destroyed by battle this turn, and you can banish it from your graveyard to not take any battle damage this turn. This was good like when it came out I think, but now it's just power crept. So like D tier again. Raidraptor replica, this card is just bad. If you want to read it on your own, do it, but it's F tier. Return is also F tier. Revolution Force, this is probably better than Raid Force. I'll put it, it's like, again, also either top of D tier or bottom of C tier. It can steal your opponent's monster and then rank it up by 1 into a Raidraptor, which is pretty funny, but doesn't really come up. It rank ups by 1. It is a quick play spell though, which is, while Raid Force is just a normal spell, so this is in theory better because you can dodge stuff and use it like your opponent's turn. So I think, yeah, I think like bottom of C, maybe top of D, but like wherever you put it, it's fine. Revolution Falcon, he is like C, he's mid, is okay, like he used to be fine because like if your opponent has 4 attack position monsters, it basically guaranteed an OTK. But now that's pretty hard to do. Your opponent like doesn't leave monsters in attack anymore that much. It can destroy a monster and burn, which is pretty decent for half its damage though. So meh. Yeah, I don't know. Just got Powercraft, not really good anymore. Arc Rebellion is just better. The new rank up, which helps you make Rising Rebellion Falcon, is pretty decent. It's probably maybe the 3rd best rank up, the 3rd or 4th best rank up. But so that would put it in like bottom of B, top of C tier. I'll put it top of C tier. Like it can fizzle. Like let's say your opponent DD Crows one of your targets, it just doesn't summon. It doesn't really summon anything other than the new Rising Rebellion or like Satellite Cannon. It can technically like summon, let's say, Final Fortress, but that's it, really. Not a lot of targets, so I think like C tier. Next up, Rise Falcon. This is like the first Xyz monster we saw. Um, he can attack all monsters the opponent controls, special summon monsters the opponent controls. So that's decent, but he has 100 attack and he can detach 1 material to gain attack of 1 monster opponent controls. In the anime, this card is much better because it gains attack of all your opponent's monsters. So basically like Arc Rebellion now. So I think I want to put it like, in theory it's technically like top of F tier, but I'll put it in top of D, bottom of D tier because I'm biased. I like this card. Roost. It says when you Xyz summon a Raidraptor, you can add a Raidraptor spell trap, and you can put back 3 to draw 1, so that's good. You can recycle your Mimicries, your Heal Eagles, your Knight, your Force Trixes. Just a decent like card. Like every deck should have something like this, A tier. Rather Strix, I need to read this again. It says, if this card is special summoned from the hand or by the effect of a Raidraptor or normal summon, you can inflict 600 damage. When opponent's monster requires an attack, you can special summon up to 2 Raidraptor monsters from your hand, and if you do, monster your opponent controls cannot target those monsters to attack. This turn, that targets this card, so you already need to control it. Your opponent needs to target this card, so I think F tier. Like I've never seen anybody use this. Sharply use. You can switch 1 monster opponent controls attack position, and if it attacks this turn in main phase 2, you can reborn a Raidraptor. So bottom of D tier, not really, just power crept. It's probably good like before, but now way too slow. On we use, I can see it. I can see it getting right now is if your opponent has all defense position monsters and you use it to switch your opponent's monster to attack, so you can punch over with Dark Rebellion. Next up, single going use. This card is pretty decent. When you control a Xyz monster, you can special summon it. It doesn't activate, so that's good. Only thing bad about this is that it's once per turn, so you only like run one copy, and barely. I've seen people like not run it and get away with it, so like see it here, probably better than Heal Eagle. Like if Heal Eagle was a level 4, you would play it over singing in other builds. But yeah, it could have been better. But I think in like anime, it's used to have like 1800 defense, which is insane. Because now here is 100, 100. Next up, Skip Force. This is probably the best rank up. Um, it's either the best or the second best rank up. It's basically mandatory in any Raidraptor build. Your basic combo is Raider's Knight into Brave Strix, add Skip Force, go into Arsenal. You can banish it from grave to reborn a Raidraptor, which is pretty good. The only bad thing about it is, let's say you summon Ultimate Falcon with Arsenal, you cannot reborn it because it was not properly exi summoned. Because this card, for some reason, says special summon that monster, and that's it. It doesn't say this is treated as an exi summon. A Skull Eagle, this card is level 3 when it's used as material. That monster gains 300 attack, pretty sure. Also, when it's detached, you can banish it to add a Raidraptor from your grave to your hand. Only bad thing is it will never be detached because it's level 3, so it can only make Infinity Eagle. It's F tier. Or else it's worse than Raptor's Force. Social Force, pay half your life points, reborn a Raidraptor, rank it up by 2 into anything, so it doesn't have a Raidraptor. Main target is Cyber Dragon Infinity. Thing is, Cyber Dragon Infinity is a light monster now, so it conflicts with Bloom Vulture. Paying half your life points doesn't really matter that much, unless you're like going into time. Yeah, it used to be like the best card. Like I used it before I got Skip Force. Like Cyber Dragon Infinity was pretty decent. Like it's like what Barrage is right now. So no real reason to use it right now. Like, you can use it like with Necro Vulture combos, but that's it. Stranger Falcon, I think he's better than Blaze Falcon. I'll put him like here. He was your target for Raider's Knight before Brave Strix got revealed. You can destroy a monster and burn, and when he dies, he can reborn and Raidraptor Xyz and attach himself, so that's good. Strangle in use. Specials himself when you have a dark, locks you into darks, and then he can reborn one if you have a Xyz monster with a dark Xyz. This material. That's pretty good. S tier basically. Like the best extender in the deck. The only bad thing about this card is that it activates, so your opponent can negate it. It should have been like a Bora in my opinion, where you can just special summon it inherently, but it is what it is. It's still S tier. Tributolenius, your one card combo. During the turn it's normal special summon, you can foolish one Raidraptor card. Usually Mimicry or like Fuzzy or Raider's Wing. Just pretty decent card, like top of 8 tier probably. The second effect never comes up to add a rank up. Ultimate Falcon, talked about it a little bit with Rising Rebellion. I think it's better than Rising Rebellion because it can lock your opponent from using effects. Like you can force your opponent to Nibiru and then just play through it. Also helps you like prevent your opponent from informing Rusty. It's either like bottom of A tier or top of B tier, whichever you want, it's fine. I'll put it like top of B for now, but I could also move like these into B tier and it'll be fine. Vanishing Guinius is pretty decent. Special salt once per turn, special summon one Raidraptor from hand. It's an ignition effect, so not on summon. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. There are times I wished it was on summon, and there are times I was happy that I could like save that effect. It's like top of C tier, bottom of B. I'll put it like bottom of B for now. Um, Wild Vulture. Is this card even F tier? Not sure. I think we need the row below. Wild Vulture here. Let's put him there. It's a level 6, so you cannot even summon it. You contribute it to summon 2 Raidraptors, that's level equals 6. So let's say like double Heal Eagle or like Skull Eagle and Heal Eagle, like that never comes up. You can't even summon it because we don't even have Pendulum monsters. Raider Swing, this card is pretty good. You can detach a material from a Dark Exist to special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. Also, if it's a material for a Dark Exist, that monster cannot be targeted, so that's really good to play around Imperm and stuff. Um, just a pretty good card overall. I think like here is where I'd put it. You can use it as a starter or an extender. Like let's say you open Bloom Vulture and Raider Swing, you basically win the game because your opponent cannot target your Raider's Knight. And last tricks, everyone's favorite link 2, Hulk on budget. When it's link summoned, you can special summon one level 4 Darkwing Beast from your deck in defense and negates effects. Also, it cannot be used as link material. And when your Raidraptor exists, using it as an effect, you can set a rank up, and if it's quick play, you can activate it this turn. Pretty good. The only bad thing about it is that the monster you summon cannot be used as link material. So if that was like not a thing, it would be like here or like top of S tier, but I think like for now it's like here for now, I think. Um, that's all the cards. Do I want to change anything? Mace is Wild Vulture tier, this is Wild Vulture tier, this is Wild Vulture tier. This can go down, I guess. Let's see, is there anything else I'll change? Okay, I think we could move Final Fortress down, like here probably. Rank up, I feel like these should be down maybe, like that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this looks. And that's it for the tier list, guys. Let me know how you would change it in the comments down. Also, I'll leave the link to the tier list in the description so you can make your own and I might check it out. But anyways, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.